I am a Mocha Mom, and I am back with a new hot topic submitted by I've Moved On. Thank you. This is the second great one you've given me, so let's get into it. It says, my mother took great pride in caring for her girls. She was old school and made sure that her children looked good first and herself second. She fixed us up with ponytails daily. I don't remember the details, but she probably mainly brushed and replatted the existing part sections and added new matching ballies and barrettes. She alternated between washing and blow drying our hair herself and having it professionally pressed. Long story short, she was in the slick the fuzz down camp. To her, presenting neat, clean, well coiffed children was a reflection on her as a mother, and this mindset is ingrained in me. Did you start out with a similar mindset? If so, how did you coach yourself to leave the hair alone? Do you think that not having your children in a daycare or public school where they and you could be more easily and frequently judged by others makes it easier for you to leave the natural fuzz alone? Any tips for others trying to embrace more fuzz and ignore comments, look, or the general feeling that they are trifling or lazy for not doing their child's hair more often because of fuzz? Any tips for making the style look fresher longer? I certainly feel bad when the fuzz is more than a cute little halo. I am trying to wean myself off the daily styling. I am currently restyling my toddler's hair after 3 to 4 days and washing weekly. I would like to style no more than weekly. This is an excellent question. I agree with you. You practically described the story of what it was like for me to grow up. My mom was the same way. Our appearance reflected her ability to be a good mother, what she saw as doing her job as a mother. And fuzz was synonymous with, unkept hair, not doing a good job with grooming the hair. For me, I kind of got forced into seeing things differently for the pregnancies that were difficult for me, where I was in bed a lot and don't live in a state where relatives are, and not necessarily comfortable with letting other people do my girl's hair, and not personally being able to stay on top of restyling as I would be if I were not challenged by being on bed rest, and having to live with the fuzz. But what really happened to me wasn't so much initially that I fell in love with the look of fuzz, so much that I noticed that their hair looked better, their hair felt better, less dry, more elastic. I noticed that their hair retained a lot more length. Nappy hair, at least my girl's hair and my hair, thrives by just being left alone. And I just looked at the hair and just realized that maybe I was dealing with it and responding to it in a way that didn't make sense for the texture that it was. It wants to stand up. It wants to fuzz up like a halo. That's what it does. I wish there were a set of expectations that lined up with that, as opposed to lining up with what hair looks like when it's straight. It'll lie down. It'll be slick. It'll be smooth. It's a flat surface, so light reflects off of it. You know, and so it was more of a mental process for me of realizing that, everything in me, everything that I've been brought up to like, wants me to go after the straight, smooth look. But the hair that I've been given functions completely differently. Maybe there are attributes that I could find with it the way that it is. And embracing the fuzz is part of it. But one thing that has helped me, I don't think that being home has kept me from that. Because even though I homeschool, I participate in a lot of homeschool community activities where we interact with other families. They're in extracurricular activities, sports activities, ballet, piano. We do field trips. I'm out and about, and I'm out and about a lot. And also, I'm very active in my church community. So I'm susceptible to people's thoughts about how I manage their hair also. But what I've noticed for me is that people tend to be more blown away by the thickness and the length and the health of their hair than anything else. So, and also my personality doesn't really lend itself to somebody telling me off about what I've done with my girl's hair. I'm sure people have their thoughts, but they haven't come with it to me. So I really try not to worry too much about what other people think and what other people's reactions are, but I do understand the condemnation that a person can feel when you know that other people think you're not doing a good job as a mom. But I know I'm doing a good job because their hair is healthy and their hair is thriving. But another thing that I do is I try to choose styles that work with fuzz and frizz. You know, if you do a slick back ponytail style or two or three ponytails, as it ages and as it fuzz, it doesn't look good. But a style like twists, braids, cornrows, these styles age very well. You can do a bunch of twists and cornrows and then do ponytails and similar styles that you would do with the hair being loose. But when it fuzzes up, it doesn't look as bad. I've noticed that accessories help, headbands, beautiful flowers, clips, you know, bead. Well, I like the side winders, but you know, found ways to use beads that have been effective also. All these things help, if at least to offer the thought that it's not, I'm not trying to take a style that would work best for straight and smooth hair and pass the fuzz off as being all right. I'm finding styles that work with the fuzz and the frizz, the afro puff, the afro braid out, twist out. All these things work well with fuzz and frizz so that as the hair ages, you don't look like you just didn't bother to do the hair. And also keeping the hair clean of lint and debris, especially when the kids are young and rolling around the floor, their hair tends to catch a lot of stuff. Staying on top of that, when the person looks at the hair is clean, also kind of puts off the idea that you just don't take the time to care for your children's hair. And I feel like God gave us this hair. It's not shiny and slick like straight hair, but it certainly has things about it that's just as beautiful, that can be just as celebrated. And I say you accentuate what the hair is naturally. I'm not saying don't do what you should do as a parent and take care of your hair and just tell yourself it's okay and send your kid out looking just any kind of way.